Hello, hello, good people. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn. Happy holidays to everyone. I appreciate you being here. I've got Mrs. Claus with me, got a little tea with me. So let's dive in. Down below, you can see my name. You have my Instagram. My Facebook is the same, basically, Shauna V. Vaughn. V is in victory, O is in orange, N is in Nancy, N is in Nancy. And then you have my Cash App. And, hey, it's the holidays. You want to bless a sister with a little coffee, a little. I'm actually a latte girl. So you can bless me with a latte. And I totally appreciate it. Okay, so we have to talk about what is going on in Venezuela. What is the felon and his administration doing in Venezuela? First of all, just right off the top, I want to say everything that they are doing in regards to Venezuela right now and these boats out in the Atlantic Ocean, blowing them up, it's illegal. It's illegal. We don't know, we have no proof, no verification that any of these people on these boats have been involved in drugs in any type of way. But they keep trying to sell this as they're going after these big drug kingpins and drug rings. And that's why they're blowing up these boats without providing any proof, any verification, or going through Congress. Okay. And then you have we have this week we found out that on that one of the first strikes back in September that they blew up a boat, right? The first hit didn't take everybody out. There were still two people that were left that were clinging on to like some debris of the boat. And then Pete Hegseth said he gave the order to kill them all. That's a direct quote. Kill them all. There was a second strike, which took out the remaining individuals. Again, we don't know if they were just fishermen. We don't know if they were just, I don't know, a group of guys who got together. It could have been a fucking bachelor party for all we know. We have no proof, no verification. We have nothing from this administration, and they are just killing people. They're just blowing up boats, blowing up boats. SEAL Team 6 carried out the command that came from Pete Hegseth. I suspect this is why you had those 6 or 8 Congress members that are connected or that are military members as well come out and give out that PSA about not taking or not following unlawful orders. I suspect that's why they put that messaging out there because they, were privy to this information prior to it being released to the public. So that's what I suspect. And also, they're going after Mark Kelly is fucking ridiculous. This guy's a hero. He's a Navy captain, and he's been in space. Like what? What the fuck? Mark Kelly? Really? That's who you want to go after? Like, Pretty Pete could never. Pretty Pete could never. Could never. And don't get me started on cankles. Don't get me started on bone spurs cankles. But I digress. Back to what we were talking about. So in Venezuela, they're blowing up these boats. They're claiming that, it's connected to, we're trying to stop this big drug ring, bringing drugs to America, blah, 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 with no proof, no verification. And then we have evidence that one strike didn't work. And then they went back and killed people that you've taken their boat. They have no weapons. They're clinging onto debris. So they pose no threat to America. There should not have been a second strike. It should have been a first strike, but there should definitely not have been a second strike. Both were illegal, but definitely the second one, because you can clearly tell these people pose you no harm, but they did it. So they are looking at charging Hegseth with war crimes because he gave the order. So we'll keep, following that, see where that goes. But here's another caveat to this conversation. So this week I saw this video, and I believe this was on Fox, some woman, and she was talking about, she just cut straight to the chase. She just cut you know, straight to the chase. She just basically said, it's about oil. We want Venezuela's oil. Now, I'm paraphrasing. She didn't say it exactly like that, but she just said it's about the oil. It's about the money. That's it, period. Venezuela has this rich oil, and we want their leader to step down, but he's not going to put up a fight. I think she called him, he's not a tough boy. She used boy, first of all. I was like, boy, okay. And and then she goes on about, yeah, it's all about the oil. Again, it's all about the oil and the money. The oil and the money. The same reason why Satan Yahoo signed off on companies to come off the shore of Gaza for the oil, for the money. The same reason why they have committed genocide in Gaza, the oil and the money and whatever other minerals are there in that ground, on that land. And then the same reason the felon brought up just a week ago of drilling off of California's coast. Drill, baby, drill. Remember that bullshit? Every rally, drill, baby, drill. That's what they are doing. Drilling for the oil because it's connected to more money. But let me also bring this up. At the same time, in the same vein, so they're blowing up ships off of the coast of Venezuela in the Atlantic Ocean. They're blowing up these ships, claiming that we're stopping all these drugs from coming to America. We're stopping the biggest drug pens, kingpins, and we're blowing their people up and just blowing these boats up. But at the same time, the felon said he would pardon, give a full and complete pardon to the former notorious Honduran president Juan Orlando Hernandez. Let me tell you what Juan Orlando Hernandez has done. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison last year under the Biden administration for conspiracy to traffic 400 tons of cocaine into the US. He took bribes. He ran his country like a narco state. He basically put together some kind of cocaine underground railroad situation that was guarded by people with machine guns. That's what Juan Hernandez had going on. He's been known as the largest, most violent drug, or his operation was known as the largest, most violent drug conspiracy in the world. He's responsible for the deaths of millions of Americans because of all the drugs that he has actually bought into this country. But this is the individual that the felon has said he wants to give a full and complete pardon to. Now let's wide picture. Let's look at this. We are not at war with Venezuela. We don't know who the hell is on these boats, what they are doing, what they are transporting, where they are going. We have no information, no proof that any of the activities that are happening on these boats in the ocean, that they are blowing up, these people that they are murdering, are responsible for any drug trafficking in America. Matter of fact, most of the drugs do not come from Venezuela. They come into America. But at the same time, the felon says he would pardon, give a full and complete pardon to a known and convicted drug trafficker, Juan Orlando Hernandez of Honduras. Someone who was already sentenced to 45 years in prison because of all the drug trafficking of cocaine into the United States and because of all the millions of deaths of Americans that are directly linked to his drug trafficking. This is who the felon wants to pardon, while at the same time he's blowing up boats in the ocean, saying that they are responsible for drug trafficking as well. Now, if you can make sense of that, drop it in the comments. You tell me what's going on. You tell me.